Today, in part 2 of making molds, we're going to talk about making silicone molds. I know a lot of you are like, what? We just talked about glue gun molds. Really? Silicone molds already? Yeah, it's really easy. I was surprised actually the first time I used it. I'm like, why has no one told me about this before? And today we're going to be talking about amazing mold putty, and I'll put a picture up over here so you can see a close-up of the packaging. Now with the amazing mold putty, you're going to get two containers. You're going to get a white container and a yellow container. And there's another brand that's a purple color, and I can't remember what it's called, but I will find a picture of it, and again, I'll post it over here. And it's basically the same stuff. The difference between these two is that this one is food safe, but generally if you're going to be doing epoxy or anything that's non-food, they're about the same. If you're going to do clear epoxy though, go with that one, not with this one. Now you want to make sure you don't use silicone, because the one thing that silicone will stick to, silicone. Now we're going to start with a flat-backed piece. You want to take slightly more than half of what's going to cover it. You have your yellow bits. You're going to need another blob of white that's going to be about the same size. This is a 1-to-1 ratio mold making putty. What we're going to do is we're going to combine them together. So once it's a consistent color and you have all of the white mushed in with the yellow, you're going to make another ball. And you want to do this pretty quickly because if you wait too long, it's going to start setting up in your hand, and then when you push it there's going to be cracks in it, and we don't want that. Here we go. Here is the piece that we're molding. Here is the amazing molding putty, and we're just going to push it down over the top. Try to get the top pretty flat. Since you're molding this, you want to make sure that when you turn it over and lay it on the level surface that you're not going to have it be going boop when you pour stuff into it. Also, if you are using these for food, make sure you wash whatever it is before you put it into the mold, just to make sure you get rid of any residual bits and pieces that you wouldn't necessarily want to eat. In just a second, we're going to get started on a second mold while we're waiting for the first one to set up. Now, if you remember in the video last week, we used a glue gun first to cover a piece and mold it from the top. Now this time we're going to be using something that doesn't have a flat back, but we're going to be molding the front of it, and we're basically going to be doing the same thing that we did with the hot glue. We're going to lay it down and then we're going to push the thing into it. They see me rolling, they headed. Sorry. This is not quite as forgiving as the glue gun, in that you can't go and add extra later. And what I'm going to show you with this one is that the farther you push down, the thicker your piece is going to be. The first thing we're going to demold is this bow. Now this is a pretty small piece. It generally isn't going to take too much to get it out of the mold. You're just going to pop it right out, just like that. Ta-da! And that thing I was saying about making sure that you wash your pieces before you mold them if you're going to use them for food, that's, you can see right there, the glitter is not good for consumption. But if you're going to be using this for epoxy and stuff, it's totally fine. So now let's move on to the skull. Now you can see it's already starting to come away from the mold here at the edges, which is a great sign. The thing we're going to have to look out for are the little holes here in the middle where the eyeballs are. Oop. Good job. And if you pull on the corners, it will just pop out, just like that. And there's your little skull impression. Ooh, how cute that turned out. Now these molds are super flexible. And see, this one is not super thick or anything else, but I mean, this is just crazy how much you can flex these around. And it's going to make it that much easier when it comes to demolding your items. I'm going to mold some stuff, I am going to demold some stuff, and then I'm going to have it ready for you guys to look at, so I will be right back. As you can see, all of the originals are here on the left and the copies are on the right hand side. I'm going to grab this skull and bring it a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's something you guys really enjoy doing. We're also going to be talking about making two-part molds with this material, as well as doing pourable silicone molds. So that is coming up. If you aren't yet, please subscribe down below, because you're not going to want to miss the rest of the series. For everybody else who is already subscribed, thank you. Hopefully you saw the video that I posted yesterday. I love you guys. You are awesome, and I will see you next week. Bye.